Hi, good afternoon, good morning, and can we start the session? This is going to be session 6 of data science, and I want you to do a recap of what we have done in last session. Can anyone do a recap? Yes, data frame, yes. Can anyone talk? What we have done? It will be nice to hear some other voice too.
Yeah, I'd like to explain. So, last week we learned, like a lot of people are mentioning, we learned about the basics of the two types of data types in Pandas, which includes a data frame and a series. And we also learned that you can customize those data frames into whatever customize the indexes for the data frame into whatever we want. And we also learned about an advantage of pandas where you can have multiple data types, unlike NumPy, which sticks to one data type. And other than that, we also learned how to manipulate data types to fit data and use certain functions from pandas to analyze the data, such as shape and describe.
Okay, good. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. So I want to pose a question to you all. Like, what is your favorite movie or favorite book that you have read or watched? Why do you like it? Can anyone talk about it?
Minions.
Minions? Okay. Why do you like it?
Because it's funny. And these minions are so mischievous.
Okay. Good. So one of my favorite movie is Harry Potter series. I love to watch Harry Potter series, and the book I like to read is Aragon. Both have something in common. Can you if have you read Harry Potter or watched Harry Potter and Aragon, and can you see anything in common between both movies or both books?
They're both from a mystical time period, and
Okay, good. What else?
I mean, like he said, they're both like fantasies.
Fantasies, okay. How about the hero? How he starts and how he finish? When he starts, how was he, and when he finish? When he rises to hero, what made him to do that? Remember, in both, like they don't know magic, right? They don't know magic, or they don't know how to handle anything, but they practice, right? They practice, and by each and every, like they work hard, and they also practice a lot to become a magician, or become a hero like that, right? So same thing like with coding also. When you start, you may not know anything, or it may be overwhelming. It is really a lot to learn, but it is like magic, right? With a few lines of code, you're making something different. Just with one or two words, you're making the data to transform, data to manipulate. So in order to make a good use of that, what you need to do is you need to practice, right? You need to practice. What we are meeting here for 3 hours once or twice a month, but this is not enough. So that's why we are giving the homework. That's why I want you to explore more in the Kaggle, or explore more in the internet. Okay, I really like you to all to practice, and with practice you'll be getting there. Okay. And I want to also emphasize this one. The expert in anything was once a beginner. So don't don't get anxious or frustrated when something is not working. Okay. So make work like research. You
Wait,
have Google, right? Yeah. What is it, Jonathan?
I was unmuted.
Okay. So I want you to practice and work more towards the data science. And whenever you're looking into the data, look like what is the data type here, what is how like uh, what kind of manipulation we can do, or how can we get information from the data. So look the data in a different angle. That will help you to become a more become a like you can become a data scientist in like just when you're working with the data and working with the code. It is, you can do that. Okay, I just want to emphasize on it, because without practice you will not be able to do that, right? You need to know, you need to have the muscle memory, or you need to code a lot. Okay, so I just want to talk about it before we go further. That's why I want to bring this up. Okay, next. So today, when we are diving into today's session, we will be talking about three things: how we can locate the records in records, and how we can filter, and how we are going to handle the missing data. That is our agenda for today. Okay, let's go back to collab, and I want to talk about certain things before going to collab also. So, have you ever uh, in Python, have you ever read the Zen of the Python, the principles, guiding principles of Python? If you haven't, it is a good time, or it is the right time to read the Zen of the Python. Zen is like, what are the guiding principles? What makes Python unique? Okay, so I'm going to run it. You can also run it, just type import this. That is the one thing you're going to type. Let me do that, one moment. Import this. So when you import this, it is going to give you the Zen, like all the the guiding principles inside for Python coding. See, this is the principles that we are going to use. This is the principles that help for the better coding. So beautiful is better than ugly. Explicit is better than implicit. Explicit means you need to tell anything out. Like you need to tell out what is your you need to um, specifically tell what you want or what you're going to do. And the simple is better than complex. Complex is better than complicated. See, can you all run this one and just read it? Because this is the guiding principles for writing the Python code. Are you able to run this one? And what is the specific one that stands out for you? Which one of the items that stands out? Yeah, simple is better than complex. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Keep it simple, right? Okay, then what else? Readability counts. See, if you look at that, when you're writing your code, big lines of code, you need to be able to read it and you need to understand out of it how you can read the code. You need to add the comments, because without the comments, it is hard for anyone to um, read here. So one thing I want to say here, if you're going to give me the private message, always do to the data science, because this one Visa, I won't be able to see your private messages. And if you're going to give the private message or any message, just use this one, data science one. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not able to see your messages. Yeah. Now is better than never. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So just read this. And these are like, I like this Zen. These are the principles that Python is based on. So please try to read it and implement that in your code. Okay. Okay, next. And this is a handy one that will tell you what path that your code is, like the code, whatever the code you are running is, it is going to give you what path. Okay, PVD. I think I need to do the pandas first. Let's do that. Import pandas. PVD. I also import numpy. Okay, I'm still getting this error, PWD. I will take away, but when you go and run in other items, you will get that one. We will come back to this later. I'm not sure why it is not running. It used to run. Okay, then in this one, Pip List, it is going to give you all the package. Something is not right here. Let me restart my collab. Give me a moment.
For the Zen of Python, do you put that in? It's saying syntax error when I put it.
Just import this.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I put import this. It's hashtag. I put it exactly how you put it on code, right? It's code.
Yeah, in the code. Yeah, in the code. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I put, and it's
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, even for me, this path used to work. Nothing. Something is not working now. Not sure what's happening with this. See, I'm seeing an error.
Yeah, no, it's not working. I don't know.
Okay, let's do that. One moment. Yeah, this is already running. Okay. Something is okay. Let's go to Kaggle and try that. One moment. You all have an account in Kaggle, right?
Yeah.
You all have an account in Kaggle, right? Okay, let's do that. So I was working on this Titanic data set, and this is going to be your homework. So let's use this. Okay, this is my work, and this is going to be my notebook. Let's use this one. Okay. I want to add one more code. Let me make this smaller. So this is the notebook I'm working with. And let me run this. Yeah, let me run this one. Okay, what's happening with this? Anybody has error message, or it's just for you, the error message? Import this. Oh, it works for you, Marsha. Okay. How about others? Are you having any other same issue? So when you just type import this, are you getting any error, or you're getting the Zen of the Python?
No, it's working for me.
It's working? Okay. Okay.
Wait, so when I put it? Do I add code or text? Because that might be.
And this is the code. This
Okay,
is the
yeah,
code.
when I
Just
put
input
code.
this.
It's not
Yeah.
showing the 1 though, like the 1 there.
Oh, 1 is the number. It is the number. So line number. So if you want, you need to go
Oh.
to view and I think tools, settings. So settings here, you can show line numbers. See here. This is
Okay.
how you need to show the line numbers.
Okay, I got it. I thought you had to type the 1 and 2. Yeah, I got it now.
No, 1 is the line number. So the
Okay.
system will automatically assign this if I'm going to run this one.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
And if you want to remove this this output, let's say if you want to remove the output, you can just go here and clear output. So it will clear the output for you. Okay. So then I need another code. What I'm going to do, let me check whether it is working here. So if I'm going to do PWD, it needs to give me the path that I am working with. See, this is the path I'm working with. So this is really handy when you are looking at adding the file path. That's why this PWD is a really handy one. It is whichever IDE you are working, just try this PWD. That will give you the path of your code, where your code is saved. Are you able to follow this one? So I think I have the same thing. I'm not sure why it is not working for me here. See this PWD, not sure. Okay. So the next one I want to talk about is Pip List. So Pip, any questions?
Yeah, the PWD doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for you? Okay. It works for me in this collab, but here my existing collab, I have an issue. Not sure what's happening. Can you try to create a new collab and try that PWD?
Okay.
Yeah, try that. Okay. So then when you type in Pip List, the Pip List is going to give you all the list of libraries that is available and that is already installed. So these are the libraries that is already installed for us here in this collab. So you can use any library that is part of this one. Okay. So that is another quick tool, and it is going to give you the version of the package too. Okay. So what we have done so far is we just find the path. Yeah, go ahead.
I found what the problem was. So when I tried putting the PWD as like the first code cell before the import this, it worked.
Oh, it worked? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
let's try that. Now here, right? I had an issue here. Let me do that. Probably. No.
Like before the import pandas as TV, like if you put it
okay,
before
let's
everything,
do that.
it works.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah, it worked. Yeah, it worked. Probably it doesn't like anything in between. The reason why we need this path is because when you're working with data, you are saving it in your drive, right? You need to get the path. So for example, for here I'm using this travel insurance prediction, and I see it is in content. It is not here. So it is in content. So I need to look for the content. So sample data, and let's look at this. I don't want to write. One moment, I clicked the wrong one. So let's do this and see, it is, I have all my data here. See, all my data here. See, California, see all these data here. And if you want to import, you just need to copy the data, the path, and just give this one here. So I have, where is it? It is in content. So let's say if I want to have this one, let's California housing. I'm going to copy the path here, and I can just give the path here. One moment. So that's why we need to know where the path is. Probably a few of you have issues with importing your data. It is probably due to your you were not providing in the proper path. Okay, so when you have the proper path, like, so wherever you save your file, just right click here and get the list from here. Like if you, this is my collab notebooks, and I have a in content, where is my content? So you have all your work here. You can just copy whatever you want. See this one, if I want this travel insurance, I just need to copy the path. Are you seeing your folder structure on your right in Collab?
Can you send the link to the folder?
What is it?
Can you send the link for the file?
I think that is part of our last week homework. If you have done the homework, you will know that. You didn't do the homework? So that's the homework file that we are working on, last week's homework file that we are going to continue. So you can, I can give you the link. One moment, let me get this one. Oh, sorry, one moment. It is, I copied the whole thing. So it is going to be something like here. I'd have more CSV. Let me send you, Jonathan, one moment. Something is not right, but let's see what's the issue here. So it says the path is not, file not found error, because it's not there. So because it's a temporary file, that's why it is going to be something like that. Let's do this one. Let's load it. I'm going to load this data one more time, the travel insurance prediction. Can someone send the link for Jonathan for this data from the homework while I'm working on it? Yeah, thank you, Medha. Thank you. So where is my file? So here. So this is the path. I'm going to copy the path, and I'm going to give here. So let's do it here. Okay. I'm going to comment this is equal to. Okay. And within the parentheses, you're adding the path. Okay. Yeah. So just do that. This is the path. This is how you will be able to add the data here. So are you good with this? Without adding data to data frame, you will not be able to proceed. That's why I want to redo this time. Any questions how I got the path and how I applied it here?
Could you paste that code in the chat?
You want to do one more time?
Oh no, could you paste the code in the chat, please?
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I have one more questions. Were you able to get my collab link? Where you are you able to get the collab link from my last session notes, or was it accessible? Oh no. So if you have issues with that, I think you need to message me so I know what is the issue, right? If the collab link is not working, please let me know, okay? Otherwise, I thought you were all able to access it. That's why I didn't even bother about doing the video. So if you have any issues with that, please let me know. The easy way to contact me is by the message center. Okay, you know how to do the message center, right? In Agramathsako. Just do that. And if you have issues with that, please send me that. Send me the, what do you call, the your question, and I will try to answer as much as soon as possible. So let me do this one if I'm able to share this. Okay, share. Anyone in link? Okay, I'm going to send this link to everyone now. It is from last week's session. Can you please check whether you have access to that before we proceed? Okay, so you can save that one, and I will also share the link for this so you can work along. This one, okay. Copy link. And the next link is for today's session. Okay, whatever we are going to work with today, I'm sending today's session too. So in this case, if you have any issues with access, let me know. We can fix it as soon as possible. Okay. So any questions? So for how we imported the data from CS, like from the CSV, and how we read to the data frame. The second one, you don't have access. Okay, let me do it again one more time. Okay, copy link. Okay, I'm going to send to all again one more time this link. Check whether this is working. Is it working? Okay, so we are all good, right? So good. Okay, so that's what first we did. What I did is I was able to import the data into the data frame. And any issues with importing the data into the data frame for you? Anyone have any issues? Okay, I assume you are able to import the CSV file into your collab nodes with Panda, and you are able to import to the data frame, right? Okay, so what we are going to do is, we already have a data frame, right? How we can access the data from the data frame? So we can access the data from the data frame by the name, by index, or by index range. And there are two methods for accessing the data, log and ilog. So we are going to talk about this log and ilog. What is the difference between this log and ilog, and how we can access the subset of the data, or how we can slice and dice the data. That is what we are going to learn today. Okay, let me go to my PowerPoint. And so for log, the log is based on the index method. Index is the column name, right? Or whatever the name you have. So the log is based on the index method, and this is going to be the syntax. So the syntax will start with your data frame dot log. This is the method you are going to call, and you're going to give this is the row label, comma, column label. Okay, this is the syntax for log. So it starts with your data frame dot log, row label, comma, column label. Always the row comes first, the next the column. Okay, there is a comma in between it. And the row, it can be one row or it can be a range of row. So you need to just pay attention to what you need. So any questions on this syntax before we dive into the code? Okay, let's go to. It depends. Lock and iLock, it depends, because lock is based on the names, right? Name of the column, and iLock is based on the index. So if you don't know the position, iLock is based on the position. See, it is the position. So we are using the column indexes and row indexes. If let's say if you know the column names, you can give the column names. Let's say if you don't know the column names, I want by the indexes, like I want from the 1 to 5 or like whatever that index. So you know that index always starts with 0. So you need to pay attention to that when you're using the iLock. Whereas the lock, it is based on the number, the label, whatever the label we have. Okay. So in Pandas, the column label or the index, we can create it, right? It doesn't need to be like auto created. We have the ability to create that one. So when we are working with a big data set, sometimes we just want to know how do I put this one? So let's go back to the collab and I'm going to see here, these are my columns, right? If I'm going to say, okay, this is the 0th column, this is the first column, second column, you can, if you are using iLock, you will be using the column positions 0, 1, 2, 3. But if you're using lock, you will be using like, I want a column age. I want column with I want a column for family members. So you will be able to define based on the name of the column. For readability purpose, I prefer lock because I can read what column I'm going to work on. That will give me that column name. Let's say if you're not, let's say if you don't want to show them the header of the column, you want to just show for the coders, you just want to know the position, then you can use the iLock. So that's the difference between the lock and iLock. We can dive into the code and then I think it will be better for you to get more understanding of lock and iLock. Okay, so so the lock is, this is your syntax. So your data frame name, lock, row label and column label. Okay, let's go back to the code here. And before using lock or iLock, we can just specify what column you want. If you're just going to work on the columns, you can specify this is the column I want, and it is the code will give you that particular column. So for this one, yeah, go ahead.
You kind of for me, you kind of cut out when you said about what lock or iLock means. Can you just repeat what lock or iLock means?
Sure. So the lock is based on the index. That means the name of the column, okay, or whatever the name you assigned. Whereas the iLock is based on the position of the column. So it starts based on like, it always starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, the position, right? So for iLock, it is the index and this is going to be the position, and we will be finding all the comparisons like late in the other slides we'll be finding what is the comparison of each and everything. But before diving in deep into comparing the lock and iLock, you need to know what is lock and what is iLock, right? We will do some code and get familiar with this lock and iLock, then we can compare both methods.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. So let's start here with the code. Okay. So you don't need to use iLock or lock if you want, just, excuse me, if you know what column you need. So in this data set, I just want age, print age. So what you can do is df, and you're passing that in a list. You're passing, see, this is the list. You're passing that within the list to print that column, and it will give you the column names. It will give you the columns. Okay, so it is for the age, and if you want the multiple, you can just use like, see, I want all these columns. So when I get that, it is going to, you need to pass with a comma, like whatever columns you want, you can print by like we can use multiple columns with one code. Okay, this is not using lock or ilock. It is just a general method of accessing the columns. Okay, if you're comfortable with that, I can go to the next code for the lock. Are you comfortable? Or any questions on how we are accessing single or multiple column? If you're not talking, can you please put your phone on mute? Okay. So now let's talk about the next one. So we are going to talk about the iLog. So as I already mentioned, this is going to be the format. Okay. So I will say df here. So this is going to be the format. The format is going to be df, whatever the data frame you have, and the log, and the rows, comma, column. Okay. So what I need here is I want the 0 row, but all columns. If you want everything, this is the key. See, this colon is the key. Okay. So when you run it, what it is going to do is it is going to give me the 0 row, and it is going to give me all the columns for that 0 row. Okay. So let's run it. So it is going to give me, for the 0th row, it is going to give me all the columns. Are you able to follow this one? This is the lock method. So with lock method, we are passing what rows you want, what columns you want, with a comma separator. Let me copy and paste it here. And you are also following with my collab notes, right? And the collab link, you already have it, right? Okay. Any questions on this one before we move to the next method? In lock, we are going to explore more options. Any questions on this particular code? Okay. Now let's go here. So now I want rows 0, 1, and 2, and all the columns. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pass the value 0, 1, and 2, and all the columns. So if I do this, it is going to give me first 3 rows. Okay. And instead of printing like 0, 1, 2, what you can do, you can give a range. So that is what we talked earlier. You can give a range, and with the range, you can get the same thing, the same code, same this one, but this is little efficient. Let's say if you want 10 rows, I don't want you to type 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until 9, right? You can do it here. You can give a range of rows you want, and when you're giving this semicolon, it is going to tell you want all the columns. You can also like ignore the semicolon. It is okay, but for the readability purpose, it is better to add the semicolon. So what we are saying is that we need all the columns. We are not specifying any specific columns. So can you see the difference between these two code? Let me get this output. So can you see the difference between these two code? It is same. It is going to give you the same result, but it is here we are using a range. Here we are giving the list of rows you want. but the output, the output for both the code is the same. Any questions? Okay, so I'm going to give you like one. I'm going to ask you. Let's say you're not worrying about these. You want all the rows, but you want the specific columns. How do you do that? Can anyone type their answer? So you don't have the code link? I think I sent this one. I'm going to send it again. Okay. So yes, Varsha, yeah, good. So what you have done is you are adding a colon and you are starting with a column. Okay. That's a good way. So we can manipulate whatever way we want. So the format is you want the rows, comma, columns. And so this is how we are going to do that. So you can just do the same code. See the same code. Let me get this one. Clear output. See, all three are doing the same code. This code, this one. All three lines are doing the same code. But this is the more efficient and readable code, because here it is saying 0, this will also work. 0 to 2, it will also work. But we are not sure whether we want any columns or it is for readability purpose. This is not good. So that's why this is kind of an efficient code. And as Varsha mentioned here, if you want the column, just the one column, you're going to get that one. So I want just the column age. So I'm going to just get this. Yeah, you can try that. Try that head on this one, like, first for 3. Yeah, you can. That is another way to do that. Yeah, you want the first 3 columns. So that will work for first 3 or last 3. Let's say you want from code from line number, you want from 5th row to 10th row. This kind of code will be helpful, because you will not be able to use head or tail when you want from the middle of the data. So if you want the header data, you can use head, and if you want the last bottom records, you can use the tail. But if you want middle, this is going to be a better way to access the middle records. That's a good way to put that in. Yeah. So any questions so far? Oh, the semicolon. So the semicolon, if just the semicolon is that, you want everything. So as I mentioned, this is going to be the row, this is going to be column. So before the comma, whatever that is, that row, this is column. So you want all the rows. You're not restricting any rows. Here you want all the columns. When you want everything, you are using the colon. And not semicolon, it's a colon. Any questions? And for clarification, does the log function show the labels of the index? What do you mean by labels of the index? You mean the header? Yeah, it is going to, this is the index, right? For the row, it is going to show the index here. It is for the row. See, this is the index. It is going to show for the row. It is going to show all the index. Any other questions? Okay, so this is another way of using log here. So you want all the rows, but you want from this column to this column. So let's say you want, so we already described this code, right? So here is where is my columns? Yeah, here is the columns. So I want from age to family members. I want all the columns. So for getting all the columns from age to family members, you can use this way. Okay, so this is how we can use. See, I want all the rows. See, as I mentioned, the colon is going to for all the rows, and you want all the columns that is from age to family members. You want the columns from age to family members. So it is going to give all the rows and from age to family members, how many family members you have. It is going to give you that. So this code is going to give you that. So are you able to follow this one? Let's say I need only the 4 rows and these columns, then you can specify how many rows you want. The rows, you can have it in a range 0 to 4, and you want age and age to family members. So what it is going to give you is, it is going to give, so if you look at that, when you are providing here, it is going to get from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 is included here. Okay, the 4 is included here. In unlock, in iLock, the 4 will not be included. We'll explore it when we are going there. Okay. So any questions on this one? So you can get the data, subset of the data by defining the rows and columns.
Whoever, if you're unmuted and that's happening, can
Yeah.
you?
Can you please unmute if you're not talking? Thank you. So any questions on this one? Are you able to follow this code? So here you are getting multiple rows and multiple columns. So let's say I want let's say I want from 10 to 14. You can manipulate it. You can see whatever rows you want, you can change it. And the column range, I want only these columns. I want to see only these columns. You can show that one too. Are you good? So right now what we are doing is we are specifying everything, right? How can we filter it? That's the next thing we can do with the log. So let's say I want to know the ages, that is, I want to get all the rows where ages is greater than 32. See, it is going to give the ages, the age greater than or equal to 32 will be, we can filter it. So this is the way you can filter for the particular data. Any questions on this one? So you can filter for it. So you can you want to filter only the particular set of data, then you can just use this log method and you can apply the filter. So here what we are saying is, this is the row, right? The first part is always the row. So I want all the rows that is where the age is greater than or equal to 32, and I want all the columns. This is what this code means here. Okay, shall we move to the next one? Okay, let me clear the output. Okay, so now I'm doing the same thing. I want family members equal to 5. So whenever you're going to find the equal to, you need to use double equal to, because the single equal to sign we are using as an assignment operator. But if you want to find whether it is when you want to compare something, you need to use double equal to. Okay, because in Python, when we are assigning the variables, we will be using the equal to sign to assign the variable, right? So that's why for comparison, you need to use double equal to sign. So what I want to do here is I want to get from the data frame where the family members are equal to 5. So when I'm going to run it, it is going to give me all the rows where the family members are equal to 5. Any questions on this one? Like how I am filtering? So equal to, double equal to, make sure you are using double equal to sign here. Okay. So the next one. So here the same thing, I'm using the log function, but here what I'm going to do is I want only certain columns. It is similar to this. See, this code here is similar to here, but here I'm mentioning the columns I need. Here I want all the columns. That's why I put the colon here. Here I want only specific columns. The columns between age and annual income I need here when the age is greater than 32. So let's do that. So if you look at that, it is going to give me any records where the age is greater than or equal to 32 and the columns between age to annual income. Any questions on this one? Because we are going to move to iLog. If you have any questions on the log, it is a good time to ask.
I have one question.
Yes.
So like, for like the filter using age greater than 32, like you put in like the family member equals to 5.
So both are
Yeah.
different code.
Yeah, it's just like I got confused by the comment, like how that relates to the code.
This one? Oh, here. Okay, okay. I think I need to change it. Sorry. This one, family members greater than. Okay, let me update it. That's a good way to cache it, and yeah, that's why we need the comment, right?
I have a question.
Okay.
On the line below, on the line of code that you're typing, below that line, it says df.log df.age greater than 32. Will that work for any like true or yes or true or false command?
Yeah, but what it is doing is it is checking whether it is 32. It is kind of a Boolean. It is checking, and if it is true, it is bringing in.
So if it is say if it say yes, would it like also consider that value?
What do you mean by yes?
So, like,
can you elaborate?
So on the travel insurance, there's a category where it says, does the person have travel insurance or no? Say that's like the only one that's like
string. You want to check whether we can check for the string, right? Whether they have the travel insurance, yes or not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's try that. Let's do that. What is the name of the column? I need the name of the column. Give me a moment. Yeah, travel insurance, right? This is the one, right?
Yeah.
You need to spell it correctly, and you need to. That's why I'm copying it, and I don't like typing. That's the other reason I'm copying.
Yeah.
So let's do this one. So print df. I think this one. Oh. Control V, and it is equal to, okay, df dot control df dot travel insurance. I want equal to yes, right? If it is going, is it going to be like what value you have for the yes? Let me check whether it is going to be okay here. Okay, it is travel insurance. It is 0 and 1. It is not yes and no, right? So we need to use the same thing. So you want it when it is equal to 0 on that one, because there is no yes there, right? So it is going to be 0. Okay. I think, oh, we don't need that. Okay, let's do this. So here it is going to bring any place where any records where the travel insurance is 0. That means 1,277 members don't have travel insurance. So you need to use the values from here because we are filtering based on this. So let's say if you want to filter based on this yes and no on the ever traveled abroad, you can do this based on this. Let's do this. I'm going to change my code to this and I'm going to say no. So now it is going to print where the ever travel abroad is no.
Got it.
So you can use this.
Is there any way just to like show like just the ever travel abroad, or does it like show all the information with that?
Oh no, if you want, you can just do that. See here, you want only the ever travel abroad, right? Oh, sorry, not this one, right here. You can just do this and you just want this, only this column. You want to show only this column, right?
Yeah.
That's what you want. Yeah. So you can do this one. See, it is going to give only what's happening here. It's true and false. Okay. So what we have done so far. Column. Yeah, it is the same thing. Yeah, we have a comma here. Give me a moment. Let's do this. Let's get everything, then we can. So, okay, this is not working here. Okay, so it is bringing the okay, we are not using the log here. See, we are not using, this is not the log function. You are using something like what I have shown in the prior. So that's why you see here, like even before log, we did this one, right? Like this, see?
I'm getting an error.
So it is bringing something like this. Okay, it is not using the log function here. So that's why I'm not able to give the comma here. But you need only the DF travel abroad. Can anyone take a stab at it? I just want, like, this is the filter condition, but I want to see only the travel abroad.
Can you place that code in the chat?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to send to everyone. Yes, I sent the code.
Can you hear me?
Is it a question?
Yeah, I'm getting an error.
Yeah, we are getting, so can anyone try to solve it? Just, I want that. So this is the filter, right? Can we use this filter and the log method to get that, just that particular column? So instead of printing it, I'm going to say, okay, what I'm going to do is, okay, let's do this. Give me a moment.
Okay, help me with my error.
I'm going to create a new data set, okay? df2 is equal to this, okay? And I'm going to print it for now. Print df2. Let's see whether it is working. So df2 is working. So from here, I'm going to do this, okay? So I want print. So I'm going to use the lock method here, like what we have done here. So I'm going to just do this, okay? Let's do this. So lock, I want everything, right? I want all the rows. All the rows, but I want only travel abroad. Just that column, okay? So let's do this. See, it is going to give me hover travel abroad. But I did like a two-step. Okay, I see someone else. Okay, Darren. Okay, let's try this. Oh, okay. This is good way to add. Okay, let's try this.
Okay, I have an error and I can't fix it.
What is it?
I have an error and I can't fix it.
It doesn't exist. Let's
I'm
see.
using a different data file, so it's
A different data by yeah, then you need to use the column that is exist. So if you look at Darren's code, what he said, oh, because we are still using this one code, but here it is, oh, this one. Yeah, that's right. GF2. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. GF2, you're right. Yeah. Thanks, Prince. I corrected it. So here, Darren gave us the code. So what I have here, I have done a two-step code. One is I'm creating another data set, and from the data set, I'm getting that particular column. Here, what he has done is he's filtering it here. Then he is using a lock method to get that particular column, just this one line code. So does this answer your question? How we can get just
attribute has a space in it.
Your attribute?
Yeah. Can I look at it and tell me what's wrong? Or do I have to modify the file?
So you are seeing there is a space between the column names?
Yeah, there's a space like
yeah, because one thing when we are working, it is better not to have any spaces. So when you're starting with your file, it is better to trim the space and start with that file.
So how do I do that?
How do I do that?
I mean,
so
like,
here, let me show. Yeah, one moment. Let me show you.
For the spaces in the Python program.
Python. I'm not going to give you in the Python code, but if you want, I can do it. And give me a moment. I can do it here in one of the data source I have. Okay, data. So I want all the files. So I have this one. So let's say I'm going to just use this one, the same thing, travel prediction. So let's say I have this annual, let's say I have this. So how you can fix it is, I always fix it in my source file, even before loading into data frame. To starters, that is the best way to do that. So I will just do Control F, and if there is any space, I'm going to replace with nothing. So then it will replace all the spaces with nothing. And this is how, when you're starting, for now, don't have any space in your CSV file or Excel file. Later on, then you can manipulate, like how you can manipulate, we can do that later. But for starting, let us remove all the spaces.
Also, why is my Excel taking so long to boot up?
Can you repeat your question?
Why is my Excel taking so long to boot up?
I don't know. You need to check your network, right?
Oh, there we go.
Okay. So are you good, guys? So here, Darren sent us the code that we are filtering for a condition. One moment, Jonathan. So we are filtering for the condition. Then what we are doing is we are using the lock method to get the particular column. So this is all about the lock. Okay, we will be jumping into iLock. Any other questions in lock method? Jonathan, can you say your question, or do you have a statement to make?
I don't know what I'm supposed to change in my file.
We can work offline. I think for the best of everybody's time, we can work offline on that one. Okay.
So should I just remove all the spaces in the attributes, or do I need to take spaces off of everything?
Yeah, we can work offline, Jonathan, on that one. Okay. Let's continue. So we are working on the iLock. So for the iLock, it is different. So what we are going to do, iLock is position based. So it is going to base on the position. So it is, see, let's say it's going to be always starts with 0, 1, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is going to start with the position of that particular column. Okay, position of the row. So here, we the same thing, same syntax. When we let me go here for the iLock, it is going to be the same syntax. So we are going to talk about the iLock. So this is going to be a row parameters, and this is going to be your column parameters, and this is going to be your syntax. This is going to be df, whatever the data frame you are working on, and this is the method you are calling iLock. Then you're passing in the row indexes, and you're going to pass the column indexes, and always with a comma. So the difference here is, here you're talking about the row label. Here we are talking about the row indexes. Okay. Any questions on the syntax before we go to iLock method?
So just to clarify, the iLock
Yes.
method is just more like a more accurate compared to like the lock method, because the lock method gives like the whole column, but like we need like but when we need like specific like places in the data frame, we use the iLock, correct?
So it is relative. So here both are doing the same thing. Both are giving the specific values, but how it is going to access the value is different. So both are doing the same thing. You, even with iLock, you can get the specific value, and a lock, you can get the specific value. Here you are referring to the name of the column or name of the row. Here you are referring to the position of that one. Let's say if I'm going to address you Kevin, right? That is your name, right? So if I'm going to address your name, it is, let's say it is going to be a lock method. Okay, I'm going to talk about the name and the label. If I'm going to address you with the student ID, your position, it is going to be iLock. But at the end, I'm going to get the same result. The way you are going to address is different. How you are going to access is different. Okay, and there are certain nuances we'll look into. What are the difference between iLock and lock? We'll be looking into it in the next slide. But this one, it is going to look at the position of that. It is going to look at the indexes of the particular data set. Here, it is going to look at the name of the data set or the label of the data set.
Got it.
Okay, that's the difference. So this is the syntax. So you'd call with the data frame, and you're going to go for the iLock method. You're calling the iLock method, and you're going to give the index. What is the row index? What is the column index? Okay, you're going to give that. So let's jump into the code. So here is this one. So I have the iLock. So here I want the columns 0 to 3. So what it is going to do is, it is going to give me, so this is the data set we are going to use, right? This is the data set I'm using. So let's see 0 to 3, what it is going to bring. See, it is going to bring 0, 1, 2, because 3 is not included. Okay, so it is just going to give me just this. Okay, So that is the difference between lock and iLock. So this will not be included here. So here you're using the same kind of syntax, but you're calling it by the position. You're calling up by the index. You're calling by the index. Okay. So here we
space.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm still getting an error.
Yes, Jonathan, I told you we will, or you can use some other file. And I think Meda already sent you the file that we are using, right? Can you use that?
Yeah, I have that uploaded.
Yeah, please upload it and try to use it. Okay. So you're going to use this iLock method, and this iLock method, we are going to use the index range. Okay. Can anyone help Jonathan offline? Can anyone take him to break room? I can create a break room. Can anyone help him with the uploading the data while I continue the class?
Oh, I fixed it. It works.
You
now.
fixed it? Okay. Okay then. Okay, let's continue then. So this is the iLock method. In the iLock method, we are going to use the position, the index range. Okay. So the same thing, I want see, it is going to get the 4th row and the first column. Let's do this one, see. So let's go back to the data here. So it is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It is going to be give me the 4th one and the first one, the first column. It is going to give me that. Okay. So this is how this iLock is going to work. Okay. And then this is a different way of mentioning the same iLock. I want row 0, 0. So it is not including this 2. If you see, that is what I was keeping on telling you. Whereas when we are saying here, the same thing here, I think we did the same kind of code here. So when we are working on this, it is going to give me the whole thing, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But iLock will not give you that last, because it is going by the indexes, and the index range, it always go one number less, right? So that is the difference here. Excuse me. So here it is going to give me all the columns, because you have the colon, all the columns, but it is going to give me 0 and first row. Okay, so when you're using this iLock and lock, you need to make sure you understand the difference and using it wisely. Okay. Any questions on the iLock method? So here are the differences between the lock and iLock. So it is the same thing. See, list of number range. Here we are going to give the row names. What are the row names? And here column names, here the column range. And here is the arguments. See, you can just, so it is giving some syntaxes for you to understand both. Okay. And here it is actually giving you what it is like. See, if just we experienced it, right? It is not going to include the number 2. It is going to stop with number 1. Whereas here, it is going to include both. If you're going to slice, it is going to include both. So, and here is the link. I got this information. If you want to learn more about it, feel free to go here. And they have a lot of resources. Most of my screenshots are coming from this link. So I want to share this. So if you want to read more and understand more, you can go ahead and get this. You can go here and explore more. Okay. Any questions on this one? I'm going to give the link here. So if you want, you can explore it later. So this is how we are going to slice and dice the data with lock and iLock. We used to have IX, that is one of the function we used to have, but it was depreciated. That means it is no longer useful in current Panda environment. Okay. So any other questions you have with the lock and iLock?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when you said that the function was depreciated, does that mean like you can't use it at all, or like what does that mean?
If you're using the older version, you can use that. If you're using the higher version, that is not at all useful. That's why when we did this Pip List, right? I think it is not working. Let me go here and did I get that in somewhere?
Oh, for the Pip List, it works if you don't have a comment before. I don't know why
okay.
though. It's really weird.
Okay. Let's do that. Thank you for that. So but I want to give you the comment, otherwise I don't know what, like I want to show you what I'm doing right, otherwise I want you to follow. That's why I adding it. Let's do whether it is going to work here.
That's one of the main things I don't fix it. It was a fake.
Let's see whether it is going to work. Yeah, it is working. So instead of adding on the top, I'm adding my comment on the side, so you know what it is. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. Probably it may be the reason. Getting the path. Okay. So here, if you look at that pandas, we are working with pandas, right? Where is my panda? Did I? Okay, so I'm using 1.3 here. For the prior versions, they had the IX, but it was like kind of confusing because it's kind of a hybrid method. That's why it's not used. In older websites, you can still see the material for IX, but it is not working because it is depreciated. I just want to give you to your attention, because when you're working with different versions, you need to be writing compatible code, right? I just want you to keep in mind that something may not work in the newer version, in the older version, because of it is always an evolving process. It is the open library and a lot of people are contributing, and it is always evolving, or it is always a developing package. Okay, that's why IX is not any more useful here. Any other questions in lock and iLock? Okay, I think it is the time to take a break, because next topic is the handling the missing values. Let's take a 5 minutes break and we'll come back. Okay, let's meet at 11:05 PST. Okay, let's take a break. So let's start with the other topic of today. And now I want to talk about the handling of missing data. In real world, you may not see data for all the records, right? So we are going to talk about how we are going to handle the missing data. So Panda will use NaN, N-A-N, not a number. That is the abbreviation for this. NaN or none, or for the missing values. And it treat both interchangeably. NaN and NaN will be the interchangeably. And these are the methods to handle the data. We are not going to look into everything. I'm just going to talk about few, and I have other like you can explore on your own other functions. So I'm just going to talk about how to find the null values. Okay, and maybe for homework you can work on how to create the drop, like how to drop, fill. You can explore on your own. Okay, so let's go back to my collab notes, and we are here, right? Okay, I think we are here. So we just finished the lock and iLock. Then we are going to work on the not a value, not like a null value. I'm going to use we use this one, right? Annual goal rate, because I saw there are some null values that we can use. That's why I'm going to use this goal rate. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, I'm getting the error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to import this one, the goal rate here, because it is only available for one session, right? The session. So I'm going to have this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, it's the same thing. Get me the path. Okay, it is going to be here. So, okay, I have this one, and I already imported this. Let's print it. Okay, print df1. Okay, I'm going to print df1. So I have these values, and if you look at that, see, it's NaN. It is showing NaN because it is a float value. The others are float. That's why it is using a non. It's a non-values. So this is how like Panda will treat the values that were not like populated. And what you can do is you can either find this non-value and fill it, and or you can handle it separately, or you can handle it in a because it's different value, right? Now it's nothing is going to be there, so you need to make sure you're handling it right. So can you see this one? Like you can do the same, like whatever the data set you have, if you have anything null value, you can try to import it and see this value. It is going to show non or none. Okay, so then there is a function. See, there is a function. It is going to check whether it is null. We are going to check. So it is kind of a Boolean function. So it is going to say true or false. If it is null, it is going to say true. If it is not null, it is going to say false. Okay, so let's run it. So if you look at that, it's all false because we have values here. We don't have value for the 0 index, and this we don't have value for this column. Okay, so it is going to check whether it is null. If it is null, it is going to populate true. If it is not null, it is going to populate false. Okay, it is the Boolean function. This function is the Boolean function. Any questions on this one? How we are checking is null. So we are going to do the same thing, but it is going to be an opposite. We are going to check whether it is not null. Okay, the same thing. If it is not null, it is going to populate true. If it is null, it is going to populate false. Okay, and what I have here is I am going to leave certain codes here for you to explore how you're going to replace the missing value. Google it and try to fix this one. Okay, so you can use this fill NA, and you can use, like, you can fill with the previous value or the next value, or you can drop that records, or you can replace with certain things. So you're going to explore all these 4. Okay, so I showed you how to find the true null value or not null value, but you're going to play with that, and we are going to discuss how you handled it for this data set, null values, next time. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, I think if you don't have any questions, we can go back to the quiz. Let's go back to the quiz. And what is the quiz? Let me open it. So, okay. Thank you, Aditya, for putting together this quiz. Thank you. Saved my time. Thank you. And let's start with this one. What is the correct pandas function for loading the CSV file?
B.
B. Okay, read CSV. Okay. And what about pandas key data structure is called? A, data frame. Yeah, we are using data frame. That is the key data structure. And which one is a one-dimensional array?
A, series.
A, a series. Okay. How to get the name of the columns?
df.columns.
Yeah, df.columns. That's good. Good job. And how to get the size of the data frame?
df.shape.
Okay, good. So you're all so good job on the quiz, and I think I have the names here. So the like Parnil, Kavin, Eddie, Sanjukta, Elric, and Darren. You all got the full score. Good work, and continue to do that. And then I'm going back to the homework. This time I didn't have like a much of a turnout. Not sure what happened, so that's why I thought of talking about you how important is homework, because I want you to explore a lot on the homework, to practice, to have hands-on experience with it. And Darren, Eddie, and Prince, you did a great job on the homework, and you like you tackled all the items. And Kevin, Lokesh, you did something for the I saw you did something for the graphing, right? You already started to explore the graphing, so I want to recognize you for this one. And Parnil and Sanvi, I think for one of the questions you answered really good. That's why I want to recognize you also. Great job, everyone, and continue the great job. And as we started last week, I want someone to present their homework, and I want someone to talk about their homework. Who wants to volunteer? Like Kevin Kartikeyan already did. I want someone to step up and do walkthrough on their homework. Who want to take a stab at it?
Seems like we got crickets.
What happened?
Crickets, like nobody's talking.
Then I'm going to let me get the name randomly. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Anyone, or if you want to go for it, like take a stab at it. Otherwise, I'm going to call anyone randomly. Okay. So let me know the last call. Okay. Yeah, I saw that, Chaksha. Yeah. Okay. Who want to do that? Okay, Eddie, can you go ahead and present? I like your work. Do you want to present your work? You can share your screen if you want. I can start. I already set up the screen like that. You can start sharing. Oh, your mic is not working. Okay. How about you, Prince? Will you be able to do that? or Darren? I'm calling all the names. Oh, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, go ahead and start sharing your work. And yeah, go ahead. I can stop sharing and you can start share. And I will go on mute.
So this is my work. First, I'm importing pandas and reading the CSV. And now I'm displaying the data and I'm describing it using data.describe. This just prints the shape of the data. So it's 1987 by 10. This displays the columns. It displays the types of the data. And here I'm filtering by the frequent flyer. And I'm using .shape to count the amount. Here I'm finding the maximum amount of the annual income column, and this is the minimum. Over here, I'm first filtering the data frame to see which one, which value of employment type is equal to private sector, and now I'm counting it here. This is a data sets I found on Kaggle, and I'm just first reading it and displaying it, and I'm describing it here. And it's 4553 by 7, and the D types are this.
Good work, Darren. Good work. And can you scroll up? Can you please share and scroll up? I want to point out one thing to our group. Scroll up. So here, if you look at this, the frequent flyers, the bottom of the screen, frequent flyers is equal to data, frequent flyers equal to yes. This is what we did today. Like we kind of filtered it, right? So that is the filter. That's a good way. Like then he's counting it. He's getting the shape. That's smart way to do that, because you can count it by the shape. And scroll down one more time. One more thing I want to point out here. Yeah, this is good how he tackled it. So he just first got the private sector employees. Then from the private sector employees, who has the travel insurance? And then he's finding the shape. So, and if you look at this code, it is neat, and he is adding all the comments. Can you see all the comments? So just by reading the comments, we can see what he is doing. So this is the great way to tackle this homework. And thank you, Darren, for the shape 0. I think it is going to give you 0 is the row, right? That it is going to give me how many rows are there. It is going to count how many rows. It is basically we are counting it. We are basically counting that one. How many rows are there? That's what he's doing here. Okay, so it is good work, and I really like your work. So any other tips you want to share with your peers here? When you're working on?
I already knew like a lot of pandas before this, so this homework was just really easy in general.
Oh, okay.
I recommend like looking at like Geeks for Geeks. They have some good examples there. And if you need any help, just Google something on Stack Overflow, and they just give you the answer and
yeah,
the reasoning.
That's right. Yeah, Google is your friend, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing this. Good work, Darren. Yeah, good work. And so let's move to our next week's homework. Okay, next week homework, it is going to be little different. I'm going to ask you do it in Kaggle and not in Colab. The reason why is I want you to go and explore what is out there. Okay, so here I'm sharing my screen again. So what you're going to do is the first one, you already, I assume that you all have an account in Kaggle. Okay, so my assumption is you have an account in Kaggle. So you're going to use the Kaggle account, and when you go to this data set, okay, So what you're going to do is you're going to see the Titanic data set. Okay, and in the Titanic data set, you're going to create your own code. Okay, you're going to create your own code, and we are going to explore the data, and we will be continue to explore the data going forward. That's why I want you to go to this data set and start working on it. Okay, let me show you how to go there. Okay, I'm sharing this. Let me go. How do I close this? I need to close this. Okay, Kaggle. So when you go to Kaggle and to the data set that I provided, the Titanic data set, so you're going to create a code here with your username. And when you go to your work, you will create a new notebook. Okay, you will create a new notebook. It will be similar to your Jupyter or your Collab. Okay, when you go to the new notebook, this code is provided by them. So this code is already provided by them. They are already importing the NumPy, and they are already importing the Pandas, and they are already importing how to get the file name. So
Can
when
you
you run this, pardon?
Can you explain where we go again to get here?
So yeah, let's do that. Let's do that again. So I'm going to close it. So here is the link in the homework. Let me go back to the homework and get this link. Okay, so this is okay. I think here is the link in the homework. This is the homework I'm going to publish, and this is the link. It's going to Chrome here. Let me go back here. And so in Kaggle, when you go to the link, you will get this something like this. Okay, and this is linked to the data folder. What you need to do is you're going to go to the code. You're going to go to the code tab, and you're going to create a notebook. Okay, and here it is all like all the notebooks available, and here is your work. So you're going to create a notebook in your work. So I have my account. I logged in with my account. So you're going to create with your account, and you're going to create a notebook here. Okay, and when you click on the notebook, when you create this first code is already created for you, and you can just run it. Okay, and when you run it, you will get the path. See, the first thing we did today, pwd, it is going to give you the path of the file, right? Something similar to that, they are giving you the path here. Okay, and then when you know the path, what you can do, you can import the data set to Kaggle, and you can describe it. Okay, so you're going to import it using, so this code is already provided for you when you get the new when you're adding the new code, it is already provided for you. Okay, you're just getting the data, the file name, and you're going to import it. Then you're going to start working on the analysis. Okay, so that's what you're going to do. And let me go back to the homework. So you're going to import it, and you're going to submit your work, and you're going to share the link in the Word document, whatever the code, wherever you have the code. You're not going to work in the collab, you're going to share this link, because this is the link. Oh, not this one, sorry. Is this the mine? Yeah, this is my work. So it is going to, you have the data, right? You're going to, this link you're going to share with me, because I'm going to look into that and see what you have done there. So you're going to start your analysis here. You're going to describe, you can do whatever you want to do with the data. And if you want more examples on how they analyze the data, go here in the code. They already see, it is already there. Somebody already worked on it, and they already have the code here. See, they are already working on the code. You can see what they have done. You can even mimic it, whatever. See here, they are checking whether is null. See, we learned about is null, right? So they are checking whether it is null. So they are checking if there is any null in each and every field. So for K-burn, there are null data for these many records. So they are checking is null, okay? So, and they are adding graphs and they are adding a lot of stuff. So do, like, you can mimic the code, whatever they have, but do like with your, in your notebook, okay? In your notebook, when you go to your notebook, you will be able to so this is the data set, and go for the code, and you're going to create in your notebook here, your work. And you're going to share this link with me in the homework. I want to know like how far you are with the progress, like how far you are able to analyze the data, whatever you are doing, just do it. I want to look into that, okay? Because
How do
we
you
are
share
going
the
to
link?
copy this and send me this one, or you can share. Let me see if I how do I share? That's a good question. It is social share, or you can download it. No, I don't want to download it. I want you to share me this. Can someone check how we can share? And Darren, are you experienced with Kaggle and how to share the Kaggle notebooks?
I used Kaggle once. I don't.
Once, okay. Okay. Oh, here. I think you can do it here. See, view copies, copy and edit. No.
Oh, you have to go to settings and visibility.
Here, settings here.
Next to comments.
Oh, here. Okay. Oh, visibility. Okay. Public or private. Only collaborators. Public means you can have. Okay. I'm going to. I need to verify it. I don't want you to do that. Okay. How do I do that? Or you can just copy and whatever you do, download it and add that link, add as the PDF and send it to me. Like however you want to share. I want to see what work you have done in the notebook. And if you can figure out how to share the link, that's good too. Okay, so this is the first assignment. You're going to import this data set, whatever the data set I shared, and you're going to start analyzing it. The next item in the homework is really important. I want you to complete this course in Kaggle, the Pandas course, and attach a screenshot of your completion. Okay. So in that way, I know. So here, when you go to course, you can get all these course. I want you to complete this course. Okay, it is going to give you all the things like how to read, write, and how to index, all the functions we have explored, and other functions that we did not explore. Because of the time, we have very limited time. I'm not exploring all the functions here. I'm just selecting few and exploring, because next 2 weeks we will be working on the graphing and charting, the Seaborn and Matplotlib. I think that we will be exploring those two next 2 weeks. So I want you to get thorough with the Pandas. Okay. Any questions on this one? So 2 items for your homework. First one is you're going to load the data and do some analysis with the data, and you can get you can look into any other samples already there, all the code already available there. You can do that. See, in the Titanic itself, they have these many codes. You can explore any code you want. And the other way to look for the better code or better coders, they have their what do you call this, the rankings in the silver, bronze, that means they are on top. Or you can also go for the leaderboard. In the Titanic leaderboard, they will have something. Where do I see the leaderboard? I do not see it here. So sometimes they have the leaderboard. I am not able to see it here. So that will tell us what kind of code, like what they have. Oh, it's for competitions only. Okay, got it. So this is not a competition. It is just for your exploration. If you want to go for competitions, you can sign up a competition, and this is the new one they got, and they are going to explore about the Japanese stock market, and they are going to explore about 2000 stocks, and you need to rank stocks. So there are various competitions. You can just look into it. And here, yeah, as Darren mentioned, you have the leaderboard, and the leaderboard is like whose entries are the best. You can check their code also. There is a way you can just look into. Sometimes they will share the code. You can check them, and you can look into their code. Or you can just go here and let's look at this code, what they have done so far. See, whatever they have done, all the see what they are doing is they are just selecting few columns. What we have done so far, right? We are selecting only few columns, right? This is how they are selecting few columns, and they are doing some processing here. You can check whatever that makes sense. Try to read it and try to take a stab at it. Okay. So that is about the homework. So you're going to complete this course. The course is available here. The course here, go here and Pandas, and here you can talk about, you can complete this course. Okay. It is a free course. So any other question you have? Any other comment you want to make? Okay, so I want to talk about one more thing. So what grade level are you in?
8.
Okay, 9, okay. 7, good. Sophomore, okay, good. So all are going like in the middle school or the high school, right? And in couple of years, you will be applying for college, right? You will be applying for college, and you are going to write an essay, and you're going to you need to stand out from the crowd, right? When you're applying for college, yeah, you're in 11th grade, so you need to apply for college next year. So you need to stand out of the crowd, right, who are applying. So one thing I highly recommend you to do is, if you are really interested in, you can form a team, or you can just work on yourself and try to do 1 or 2 competitions here. When you do the competition, you will be analyzing, and you will have more and more, like you can explore more code. Enroll for any competition that make like for the data set that you like. We have a lot of data set, lot of competitions going on. So, and there is this is swag, means it is just just for your practice. So there are a lot of competition. Something has prize money, something is just for your knowledge. So try to enroll in a competition and do something and achieve in the leaderboard, because when you continuously competing, and you will write better code each and every day. So try to compete in any one of the competitions, and whatever that you have learned here, you can write an essay on it. You can write about it, and you can stand out from the crowd. If you're really interested with data science, or if you're really interested with computer science, just try to do that. Or even, let's say, if you're interested in medicine, look for the data set that talks about the medicine, the DNA, that talks about the health and that talks about the disease and how to find like how to analyze the data based on that. Just do that and you will be standing out from the crowd, right? When you're working on something like that. So that's a great opportunity for you to work with the data and stand out from the crowd that is applying for college. So try this. And for next week, I think we have one more session of Triangular Talk, and try to attend it. We will be sending the information about the Triangular Talk. It is going to be a great session, and we are also really looking forward to hear from the speaker. So try to attend next week's session. Okay, anything else you want to talk before we wind up? I think we can wind up the class a little early today. Any other thing you want to discuss? Okay, if you don't have any questions, I think we can meet in 2 weeks and have a great weekend and have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe and like. If you have any questions, you can email info@agoramastercode.org or comment below and we'll reply back. Maybe. And if you want to see practice things or anything about us, you can visit our website, which is basically the end of the email, but without the info and the end. So bye!